Coming to you live from the backseat of a 1984 Holden Kingswood. It's time for Destiny Down Under.
G'day and welcome to the 176th episode of the Destiny Down Under podcast. As every week, I'm Log Power Slave, joined by Fearless Law Hobbit, Mylan Games, an absolute legend, Sassy, the Pineapple Boy himself, who is currently wearing a Crypt Rahul mask in the farm. And if you want to go and teabag him, that'd be great. Boys, how's it going? It's been a big week. Just a bit going on.
It's been a big week.
It's been a big week. And especially if you were joining stuff live, because everything was on at about somewhere between 1 a.m. and 4 a.m.
Jack shit o'clock in the morning, yeah.
This week. What we had the live event in the tower, which was 1 a.m. for me and 3 a.m. for you guys.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Wait. We had
it started at 3 a.m.
Oh, fuck.
It started at 3 a.m. for us and then actually happened at 20 past 4.
Right. And then
Yeah.
we had the Bungie release.
That was 2 a.m.
Live
for us.
event. And
Yeah.
then we had the podcast after.
And then we had the
a couple hours
podcast.
sleep.
You and I on that podcast were both pretty out there. Well, I think we got through it okay, but it was.
It could have gone either way.
Yeah.
It could have gone
I'm glad it went the way it did.
I was in delirious zone.
You were full blown Charlie Day with the fucking string lines on the fucking the whiteboard just wild eyes, Maddie.
Oh boy.
And and then I thought I was going to be able to play some Destiny, and then I've just been reading fucking lore books, you stupid hobbitses. All streams, every stream. Everyone just wants the lore read to them while they grind out their event.
Yep.
You need to just pre-record it so you can play it, or do text to voice. just
copy paste in a
Just
copy paste in fucking Google Translate.
Yeah, dude, take the streamer out of the stream, dude.
Yeah,
Text to speech, everything.
Or you know what? And then they could cut out the middleman even further and just read the shit themselves. How about that?
What I need to do is map my voice so it's like text to speech, but it's me. I mean, how many words would you have to read to get there?
A lot.
A lot. I don't know. Ask Siri. Yeah. Maybe. Isn't there an Australian woman that does the voiceover for Siri?
Yep.
She'd have a fair idea.
I think it's Jenny or some shit.
Yeah.
There you go.
But holy crap.
I've been busy.
So season of the Arrivals is here. I've sunk more time into this season than I probably at launch anyway than I have previous seasons. I've been absolutely smashing it, and it's been so far been a lot of fun. So what we might do is just jump around and do general impressions of what we've had since Wednesday. Obviously we've already done a bit of a reaction episode. If you're just tuning in now and you missed Wednesday's stream, that was sort of all about Beyond Light and the path forward. We had an absolutely incredible interview with Catherine Walker, who actually was the producer for the new dungeon. So definitely get in and check that out. It was it was great. It was a great experience to be able to do that. But then basically on the spot, we all just gave up on our families and our lives and played Destiny, except Matt, who's been reading fucking Word documents, I suppose, for that entire time.
Clippy stream.
Dude, someone made that Clippy emote for you. When are you going to put that in?
Oh, no, I need to upload it.
So how far through the story have you managed to get, Copper?
No, I did. The only thing I've really done is I got through the first, because we're assuming it's staggered, right? So I got up to the interference mission, which is
sort of the end
is it
of
technically
it for this week.
second mission? Like you sort of get the intro mission, you get a little bit of grinding, and then it sort of finishes on interference. So I've done that, and I've done a couple of the contact events, and that's about it.
Cool event. I mean, I'm kind of allergic to anything that involves moats at this point, but I'm still pretty stoked.
I was gonna say, who would
Who would have thought that
that
orange moats were so much cooler than bloody base level white
I know.
ones?
Who would have thought that like fucking Gambit Patrol would be more fun than Gambit Gambit?
Gambit. I see.
You know what I mean, though.
I sort of don't mind the. I was talking to chat like my stream about this, like the blind well style. Like you can sort of like tune out, but it's still like everything's just blowing up. If you got enough people there, people are just chaining supers and going, and it's like
it's just chaos.
It's sort of the grind I don't mind. Like that's the sort of stuff I don't mind just doing in the background and
it
just
is quite
talking with your
fun.
mates. Yeah.
It's pretty mindless, which is really good.
Yeah.
The best part because I was doing contact events and then Maddie joined in on, like, he matched into my instance and he was like, because everyone knows right now to get the heroic, you got to fill up the vault with the blooms and you got to do all the little things around the outside and then you got to stop the Taken from stealing it. And Maddie on stream was like, "Oh, dude, who's this guy just sitting there ball duping for like 5 minutes straight?" And I'm like, "Yeah, it's me."
Yeah, that's ball duping is alive and well, ladies and gentlemen. Go and watch a tutorial on the internet if you want to get yourself into some easy heroic fucking contact events. We won't be going over that here. We'll take the higher ground, but we're just letting you know that it's out there so that you're not at a disadvantage. Okay. So it kicked off straight into a story mission. Nothing going on beyond. Here's a couple of cutscenes. And then straight into a story mission that saw us basically.
I got caught my pants down because I had all my sounds and stuff turned off for the streaming. I'm like, oh no, it's a record button. And I'm like, I've got no sound. I've got no volume. I couldn't escape because it went. You didn't even. I don't even think you had chose a character yet. It was like as soon as you booted up Destiny, it was like boom.
I think you chose a character and then it was straight in.
Maybe you chose a character.
Yeah, you choose your character and then it chucks you straight in.
What did you guys make of it? What did you? I thought personally, going straight into a mission that sort of set the tone for the season was probably a great start. Like
so much better.
Yeah,
it's chalk and cheese, man, compared to the Almighty. With just there's not a huge amount of mechanical differences between what we're doing now and what we did with Season of the Worthy, but the feeling is heaps different. The fact that just having one story mission, go and grind, and then another little story mission, and then I'm assuming we're going to grind a bit more in the next week, another story mission, grind a bit more, and then you're getting close to the end. I just think just those scattered missions make a huge difference for the feeling of a season.
It gives a narrative cohesion, right? Like just for you to be able to live a little bit of the story. It just makes it yours, right? And obviously, we've got Australia as a nation has a enormous soft spot for Mauler. So anything that involves Eris is going to be pretty well received down here. So good to see her back in the mix. It's good. Some pretty full on themes at play this season. It seems that now, like I this is just me and my fucking cat brain that's a bag of cats. That I'm trying to make sense of everything. But it seems that the pyramid ships have turned up to actually talk to us. And then, more or less, I'm assuming it's Savathun, is trying to get in the middle and go, but don't talk to my friend, or something. Like, is that what's happening? Like,
I can tell you about that if you want to. Or do we do the... We normally don't get into lore this soon. Lore is a reward.
It is very early for lore, isn't it?
Lore is a reward for sticking through 2 hours of bullshit.
We'll circle back to it. We'll talk mechanics of the season, and then we'll come back to that. I think the Umbral Engram system, the recaster, sort of hanging out with the Drifters machine that talks to itself. I'm pretty happy with all of that.
Dude.
It's a fucking cracking system, and this telegraphs something that we could see being sort of moved into the larger game, the game as a whole later on. I think it would, it's super rewarding to grind. It is, to be able to get in there and like have genuine excitement about turning in Umbral engrams and having some control over what you get out of them. Fucking
man,
unreal.
Yeah, I really dig that. And plus, the loot pool is really good this season.
Yeah,
Like the swords. The swords are awesome.
Is it false promises? That's the auto rifle, slower fire rate auto rifle, but it's pretty solid. I took it straight into control the fucking.
Hey,
we're gonna need to talk about that in a minute too.
Heaven.
What are we looking at perks wise, Sassy? Professional FPS analysis. What are we looking at? False promises, perks.
False promises, just like it's if you want to cap range, and then you want to do just something simple like Outlaw Kill Clip or Outlaw Rampage. That'll be the go. That'll always be the go.
How's the stability going?
Oh, you don't really on PC. You don't need stability. We're all trying to ignore the guy in the background, but he's just way too low.
Whoever you are, obviously in stream.
Who is it? I need to find out.
It's Jugs, probably. I reckon it's Jugs.
No, that's not Jugs. Is too busy AFKing, bro.
Hey, how about that grenade launcher?
It's Nick. There you go. Oh, it's Nick and Ain't Pro.
There you go.
Ain't Pro and Jugs.
All right, yeah, we need to talk about that. The fucking with the horde. The jizz lobber, the fucking blighting lion. It's got many names, but it has been it has been a literal fucking blight on Control since the season kicked over, because it is just there is fucking puddles of shit everywhere in every PvP game you play. It's out of control. It's fucking cool. Like, don't get me wrong, in PvE, I'm all about it. It's a fucking really cool gun. We ran the raid the other night and sort of gave that. There's a glitch where you can just absolutely shred bosses with it, and it only sort of happened a little bit, but it was cool to do the content with it nonetheless. It's a very different gun. You can sort of drill something with it and just walk away and forget about it, and it kills them over time. It's pretty crazy. But yeah, dude.
It has been a nutty in PvP because everyone's trying to do the catalyst, but it's okay. Like you can combat it. I find the people using Mountaintop trying to get the catalyst more annoying than the people using the splooge launcher. So yeah,
splooge launcher.
Maybe I can get Mountaintop now using it.
No,
maybe.
Maybe. I don't know. You're better off. There's other ways to do that that'll be more effective, but. I think that the only reason it's so bad at the moment is because everyone's using it, and like if you land in two puddles at once, like where there's puddles on top of each other, you just get minced. It's like absolute straight out.
Does it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, a direct hit will kill you in any way unless you're in super or in a well. I don't know. I think even a direct hit kills supers too.
There was a dude in a well. There was a dude standing in a well, and I shot him.
Yeah.
And it just...
If you get hit...
it just minced
melted him.
The AoE will kill someone in a well. It's pretty rough.
It felt bad. I felt dishonest. Somehow, having used a weapon in the Crucible. But, I mean, it's obviously... The big talking point is the fact that it's completely broken a few boss raid encounters. So whether or not we see a nerf incoming, I've seen the video of Callus get killed in 0.1 of a second because everyone shot him with it all at the same time. So I'm not sure whether we'll see a nerf for it or whether they'll just let it ride, whatever, go and get your easy raid completions. But good times nonetheless. I'm not sure why the cameras have just shit themselves, but I'm sure it'll come back. There we go. There we go.
What button did you press?
Huh? I didn't even push a button. I didn't even push a button. It just shit itself.
Just randomly DC.
Whatever. Anyway, we're gonna move on. I just said whatever. Whatever.
You gotta turn your thing back on.
Fuck me. What is going on? Thanks, Discord. Fine. Just work. It's not that hard. What else happened? I can't even remember. I'm trying to keep all my thoughts.
All right. So we've got cutscenes. We've got the season stuff. We had the Umbral
Dungeon.
Engrams. Dungeon.
God.
We haven't done it yet.
We haven't done it because we're just lowly peasants. But you've done it.
We'll probably do it tonight if you're around, Loggy.
0% chance.
What about if I'm around, Saz?
If you you need to level up a bit.
Yeah,
if you hit about 1025, you'll pretty do it chill. But it's such a gorgeous dungeon. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I watched
It
watch
is
Jugs and
gorgeous.
Ninja run through it, man. It is something else. And kind of the mid part of it being Rainbow Road from Mario Kart, I found to be particularly.
Oh, I haven't seen it
It
yet.
is
Don't
so
tell me.
it's so that midpoint break is so relaxing. And
Rainbow Road. That's
Yeah, and it's trippy. Can I spoil a little bit of the dungeon for you, Maddie?
yeah. As long as you don't tell me mechanics, but you can tell me what
No.
happens. How about that?
Okay, so I'll tell you a mechanic of the area that you play in, but not a boss. How about that? Because it's thematic. So you
Go on.
play. Imagine you're playing on the inside of a shape, and then you play on all the different surfaces. So like the walls are also playable surfaces on, and the map will like rotate around.
Yeah, like a cube. Yeah.
As you
It's like a tumbler.
progress through the encounter, you'll play on like the walls or the roof or the floor again. Yeah. So that's so cool. So every time you go into the room, you scope it out and you look up and you're like, okay, well that's a playable space eventually too. So it gets real trippy, which is a lot of fun.
Nice. No, I'm looking forward to that. I mean, when we were talking to Catherine at site, I mean, you've basically picked my jam. Fucking synthwave.
Oh yeah.
The
synthwave dungeon. Yes.
Yes, please.
So
synthwave dungeon. Yes, please.
Yes, please.
Synthwave. What happened if Tron and Stranger Things had a baby?
And it was Destiny related.
That's Destiny.
So good.
Nice. It was unreal. So,
is anything else?
I'm trying to think.
What else happened
from this season? I guess it's been really cool seeing the landscape's completely changed. The pyramid ship's obviously here, and like I think it's fantastic that they're leading into the darkness and dark powers and this nice cohesion there, and it's an engaging story. I mean, the dungeon's about the 9. I haven't even dived into that yet.
Yep.
We got Mithrax, not Mithrax, Eramis in the next season as well in the expansion Beyond Light. Eramis wielding the dark powers. Who was one of the fallen baronesses.
We got the majestic flap ghost in the cuts in the Beyond Light trailer.
Yeah, I mean,
we have talked about this, but I feel like it doesn't count because it wasn't as a normal time.
Yeah, almost. I think so. I mean, we can talk about it if you. I'm fine. I'm just still frothing over it, so I'm completely fine. Can we have a moment of recognition for the genius who said that last week on the podcast said that maybe the Exo Stranger was the Hourglass, and then the Exo Stranger was the Hourglass? Can we have the?
Yeah, I think so.
They called it. 100%.
Yeah. So I'll just take that credit all the way to the bank. Emma Lawmaster now, pretty good. Happy with
that was you, was it? Yeah, great.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, see, some other prick. What do you reckon?
Can I just say that Log's been right about a lot of fucking whacked out theories? Because Log was right about.
Can I say that when you talk as much shit as Log, eventually you fucking some of it sticks to the wall.
No. Can I just say the last time the last time I was on the cast, Log called out that that Rasputin was Felwinter, and he was right. So.
Don't worry about me, everyone. I'm just the chimpanzee on a typewriter that's eventually going to punch out Shakespeare. That's fine. I'm the broken clock that's right twice a day. That's me. Matt's exactly right. If you spin enough shit, eventually some of it comes true just by weight of volume. So I'm definitely not going to spoil anything for you. You'll never be able to tell what's right and what's wrong. But dude, super cool. Seeing Eris, the Drifter, and of course the Exo Stranger was the real big reveal from the cinematic trailer, I suppose. But I mean, we're sort of theorizing about all of this stuff only last week, where what would dark powers look like, what would all of that happen, and sort of stasis has come to the fore. And it seems that we kind of weren't too far from the truth, but this seems to be sort of ice power, right? Like that's
stasis, I think it's called.
Yeah, stasis. I've seen
ice.
There's some pretty cool screenshots. Anon shared one around, so if you're on Twitter, absolutely head over to Anonpig's handle, and you'll see sort of some screenshot and analysis of some of the upcoming supers. But man, we're not gonna dive into that too heavily here. But as a theme, I think I didn't see ice. I really didn't see sort of ice being the element that
Well,
came in. We're really getting towards
we were
Captain Planet
definitely-
shit.
We were talking about like gravity stuff, right? Like,
Yeah.
And I think ice is a nice element that links in with like the freezing stuff, obviously stopping things in their track, like immobilizing things.
Yeah.
It's gonna be interesting, dude. We're gonna
there's-
we're gonna get new supers. That's what I'm fucking pumped
I
about. What's gonna be
100%
the new supers, man? Oh, let's speculate on that. We know what
Okay.
stasis is now.
Yeah,
What are
I
the free
hu-
supers?
I'm
no,
kind
I
of seeing what they look
100%
like a little bit because it's in Anon's thing. But from what it is, the Titans seem to have like big, like sort of ice swords coming out of their arms.
Really?
So, yeah, and I think the Warlock has like a stave. So maybe it's just being a typical fucking Warlock going like ooga booga at people like with a magic or something.
No.
We're back to
I
fucking
100% guarantee there is going to be a class that involves freezing people, like freezing enemies, and then there's going to be another subclass that revolves around shattering like the frozen people for massive damage. So imagine like
nice.
a Warlock throws like a Nova bomb out, but instead of like void damage, it like freezes thing in a specific area, and then a Titan comes in and then just with like a fist of havoc or
You know,
something, and then
like-
just shatters everything.
Just imagine what's going to happen in PvP.
It's combo
it's gonna be-
multipliers.
I guarantee it's going to be
I
like,
guarantee
fuck, being
if there's
frozen.
if there's a freeze mechanic, someone is going to get frozen, and while he's frozen, the entire team is going to teabag around him and just wait for him. Just wait.
Yeah, there's
until
going to be
he's-
some rage. And like anything in Destiny, the second we get new toys, we tend to fucking break them. And there's a whole new subclass tree that comes with this, and a new subclass sort of philosophy, as Luke Smith sort of alluded to in the interview with Dr. Lupo that he did after the big reveal. So, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this... we actually manage this class and set it up to our own liking, because the implication was there that if this is sort of a toe in the water for a bit of a reimagining of all of the subclasses. So hopefully I'm sure it'll go well, but there's definitely going to be one of them that's broken. Hopefully it's the Hunter, because theirs is like, you know, those little like ice hook fucking things that you climb.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it looks like for them. So everyone else is going to, you know, Titans have knives, Warlocks have a spell, and Hunters are just going to climb up a wall or something. I suppose.
We can climb.
On
We
the
can
roof.
climb. Yeah, so I mean, it'd be interesting to see how that pans out. But yeah, all right. What else did we see? We saw the swimmy fish, the fishy ghost
Yeah.
that is not a ghost. Apparently, we've had that. We've heard that.
Can you
confirmed.
tell we haven't made notes for this?
Nah, it's,
podcast?
look, well, I didn't want to. I didn't want to for this one, because it's just sort of like we're all excited and we're just better off letting it go, because notes are just pointless.
SBMM got kicked.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the big news. I don't think anyone saw that coming. Did you see it coming, Sass? I didn't.
No, I thought Bungie were going to stick to their guns.
So-
Yeah, you go.
Does this mean I can make PvP montages now?
Yep. Well, it just means that for
It
you
means
guys,
you'll probably feature in other people's.
Damn it! Yeah, I was like, this is when you discover what fucking end of the fucking spectrum
Yeah,
that you're on.
Yeah.
This is what I said yesterday, because I was chatting, because there's some people who have a little bit of an ego that I talk to, and the SBMM
really?
removal has been quite a rude awakening to see that they may not exactly be as big of a fish in the pond as they think they are.
Oh wow, he's just outed me on my own podcast.
Why don't you just say my name?
Yeah,
Why don't you
why
just
don't
say
you
my name?
Why don't you just at me, you
Well, you
bitch.
gotta
Why don't you at me, you dickhead?
you gotta act like you're hot shit before.
It's
you get
honestly,
dropped.
I've been in there and look, play Control. Don't play Classic Mix. There's something going on with Classic Mix.
Nah,
I don't.
Classic Mix is still broken.
It's
so
there's
just
something.
don't
There's
play
something.
that.
There's an additional factor at play there. But if you want straight out skill based matchmaking experience, go to Control, and you'll get it, because it's. I don't know,
Connection
man.
based.
It's just straight connection based.
Connection, yeah.
Connections are great. I've seen a few. I've been in a few games that were just completely fucking lopsided, and I don't know. It's not the end of the world. I've stomped in a few games and been stomped in a few games, and I think that, like, as long as that's the general experience, I don't think that
Yeah.
I don't think it's a bad
Sometimes
thing at all.
It's good to like see like where you're at. Like you stomp up people, like, great, I've made improvements, and then you get something like, okay, I've still got more to go. Like it's
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's exciting for me.
I'm not going to lie, I do feel for the people who are like at the bottom end of the skill curve, but your avenues towards improvement are the same as they've always been. Like, go in, and I know that it sounds counterintuitive because it used to be the sweatiest of all game modes, but you want to be going in to survival, or what used to be called comp, and get in there, and like, it's still skill-based matchmaking. You'll be put against people at your own skill level. It's 3v3, so it's a much simpler game to kind of, you've got more breathing room to get in there and hone your skills. So go in there, do that before you worry about the chaos of the 6-man game modes. You know, go in there, even if you're just playing freelance, even if you're just doing it on yourself, doing it by yourself. I think that's a really good avenue. That and elimination are still skill-based matchmaking, and trials is obviously its own card-based nonsense. So it's a different kettle of fish again. But I don't know. I think we saw this last time that skill-based matchmaking was removed, right? And it just reinvigorates PvP because it sort of lets everyone just be where they're actually at. You know, you've got these. I don't have to worry now about whether or not I'm playing with Sass. Because Sass is a lot better than me.
Yeah.
And now we can go into control, and it doesn't matter because, you know, he might be on my team. I'll probably get put against some other absolute animal on the other team, and it all equals out. So I think no one saw it coming, but it's absolutely a timely sort of reinvigoration or shot in the arm for just non-serious cruisy crucible. And if you're not enjoying it, stick to the game modes that have skill-based matchmaking. I know that it's a big change, but I think it's important too. Sass, how many kills did you get in your first game? Just tell us.
48, I think it was. I mean, 48 and 3 or something like that.
Fucking rude. Yeah, part of the problem, mate.
I 100% was, because it's like I'm a little bit conflicted because, yeah, I understand that, and I really enjoy not having skill-based matchmaking because it makes it for a much more relaxing experience. Like, you don't feel like you have to go in there and concentrate to do well. The hit registration now is, well, from my point of view, the hit registration is so much better than what it was.
Yeah.
Because you used to be versing people all over the world. So, and it was like a coin toss whether your shots would register. But on the other side of the hand, I don't particularly enjoy going into a game and then finding out that there's nothing that the enemy team can do to essentially stop me. So it's like slaying baby buffalo.
What are you going to do? Yeah, but like, you've got a pretty long history of putting on goofy loadouts and stuff, so maybe that's the way
Yeah,
to
so
approach it.
I'll still use my goofy loadouts, and you'll always see me do stuff like that. But yeah, I've enjoyed the it's been a breath of fresh air, to put it plainly, for like the lack of skill-based matchmaking. So we'll see how it goes.
The other PvP news, trials this week, cancelled.
Fucking got booted. Get out of here.
Trials is booted. There's some kind of glitch going on with the lighthouse, so even if you go flawless, you can't get there. I'm sure it's been going on all fucking last season too, because I only managed to get in there once successfully. It's been a long-standing glitch. What a fucking warlock, mind you. How horrible.
It was on Jov 4 too, which was going to be such a fun map to play. But then,
yeah, it's a shame, but I'm sure they'll it'll come back in the rotation at the back end of the season as well. So I think it's positive. I think there's a lot going on right now, and it's probably showing in the fact that we're all a little bit scatterbrained at fucking how we go about talking about it. But yeah, super positive start to the season, and like, honestly, what it telegraphs going forward, and the fact that we've seen not only what's coming in September this year, but next year and the year after, and we know, basically the scope of Destiny 2's. I don't know whether we move to Destiny 3 after we get to Lightfall or not, but we kind of know enough about what we're getting now to say, well, for a content creator or whatever else, you've now got faith that Destiny's going to be there through the next 3 years.
Big security. Yeah, big security for
drop the
someone like me that's trying to work out whether I put all my eggs in that basket, and just knowing that there's going to be a bunch of content coming, and it seems like we're all headed in the right direction. I've been in this spot before though. Then like the Grimwald cards were removed, so like we just. I don't think we'll make. I don't think that will happen again. But it's nice to feel secure in the directory, so to speak.
I think the biggest thing telegraphed, and this is sort of not until probably late next year that we'll see it, but is complete crossplay of Destiny as a game.
Oh, the fact that they said that is something they're 100% working on.
Yeah, they're working towards that, man. That solves so many. I know that there's, if you're playing on console right now and you look at PC and you see the absolute dumpster fire that it can be with all of the cheaters and stuff, I think you know, if Destiny was to be crossplay right now, absolutely 100% agree that it would be a bad thing. But given that it's a year down the line, and I've got faith that Bungie are going to do this right in terms of they'll you know, they're going to stamp out that issue before opening up the pool to everyone. I think having that access to massive player population, and hopefully they give us customizable options, but I think it'll absolutely be Destiny in its final form. Being able to play with your mates irrespective of where they are, fucking incredible.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Yeah. Yeah. Going back to a point, because I think we didn't quite allude to it, was I'm sure Luke Smith talked about Destiny 3. There's no plans for there to be Destiny 3. It's going to remain Destiny 2 for.
Yeah.
Yeah, the foreseeable future.
What does we say? Go back to
drop
Destiny.
the 2.
Drop the
Yeah,
2.
drop the 2.
Drop the deuce.
But do you know what? I reckon Destiny 2 has way better search analytics, because if you just have Destiny,
Yeah, true.
you get random shit.
You get
Whereas
like
Destiny 2,
shit from tarot cards or whatever. And fucking Beyonce pops up and God knows what else.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, Destiny 2 though.
Destiny 2
2
a bit more specific.
Yeah.
All right. Well, look, I think we've strung people along long enough, Matt. What was what's the lore implication for this season? Because holy shit, that can we talk quickly about the Nokris lore that was released on Bungie?
Yeah,
2 days ago. I think that's probably the biggest chunk of freely open stuff that's not out of Ishtar. So
yeah,
holy poops, dude! What did you make of it?
I think a bunch of stuff's on its way, because I've read both of the lore books and they're good, but they're very safe. Previous seasons, you could almost read the lore book and know where the season's going to go, and you get like quite a big chunk of knowledge. I think there's similar to how we got Phoenix and the Pigeon, or is it Pigeon and the Phoenix? Whatever that one was in season of. Whatever that season was with Osiris, that dropped halfway through. I have a sneaky suspicion we haven't got everything yet. Maybe it's the web lore, but I feel like there's another lore book, or at least another web lore on its way. The web lore was really good. Nokris returns. You may have known that if you've completed the interference mission, because you hear Nokris's voice line as you enter the ascendant plane. But it actually gives you how sort of he came back and what he's doing. So essentially, to oversimplify it, he didn't die the first time when we killed him in Warmind. Sorry if you hear my dog barking. It's the Uber Eats.
That fucking game alive, bro.
yeah, bring it into the house. Bring it. I'm game and bring it in the house.
Pour it into my mouth.
Yeah. He didn't die the first time. It doesn't give an explanation to why he didn't die. It sort of hints at something, which was, do you remember, this is my next video, by the way, so don't steal it, okay, you lore hobbits. So, do you remember how Zol ended up in Whisper of the Worm?
Yeah.
Oh, it was hinted at that Zol's sort of soul, Solly Zol was in Whisper of the Worm. So the new Nokris lore hints at that. So Nokris tries to reach out to Zol as his old god, and it basically says that Zol rejects Nokris. Now he's like, no, I've got a new master, essentially. I've got a new partnership, and that's with Guardians, whatever it says in there. So and then that made me start to go back and read the Zol lore, and then I remember seeing how Nokris got his necromancy power, and he made a bargain with Zol, and Zol took his heart, and in exchange, Nokris learned necromancy, and he got power from Zol. So I was thinking, I wonder if not, because this was a big deal when we basically took Nokris out in a strike mission. If you remember back to that time, everyone's like, "Oh my god!" Because Nokris was a huge deal because we never knew anything about Nokris, and then he was a strike boss, and everyone got hell pissy about it. And also because he rejected the sword logic and he embraced necromancy, he never developed the throne world. So the argument was he is proper dead because he's not like Oryx or Savathûn or Xath-Arath, any of the hive gods that actually have throne worlds where you could survive a killing. So this sort of confirmed that he did survive, but you sort of have to ask, well, how did he survive? And my best theory at the moment is that when he made the original bargain with Xol, swapping his soul, that it's part of his life force is also tied to Whisper of the Worm somehow. Yeah, and so if we still got Whisper around, Nokris is still going to be.
So what you're saying is everyone
needs
Destiny
to dismantle
needs to dismantle. Yeah, everyone needs to dismantle it.
Well, I mean, Bungie were trying to do the simultaneous events, everyone to experience the same event, like the Almighty, right? And the tower.
Go in the tower and everyone delete fucking Whisper.
Yeah, no, the next event, everyone goes in the tower at this right time, and basically your fucking Whisper of the Worm flashes on your screen and just gets fucking binned. and then you get a Xol speech line going, rah, and that's it. So that's my current working theory on how Nokris survives. So then Nokris is in a weakened state, and he actually gets parts of the remains of Xol to summon the deep, and he actually is enough. He can draw enough energy to use some necromancy and summon a thrall army. The thrall army is like bait, and that attracts guardians who then start killing everything. And then he uses the power from killing to actually slip into the ascendant plane, which he's never been able to do before. But so he does used part of the sword logic
in creating the death battery kind of thing.
Sort of, yeah. City, yeah. And it seems like it. It's literally one word, but it seems like he gets killed too. The final capstone on the spell is he summons these thralls and he lets himself be killed again by guardians. So maybe this must be before Season of the Rivals. So I don't think we'll see Nokris again in game. So I'm pretty sure he dies again. But however, he slips into the ascendant plane, and because he's been quite tricky with all this, quite cunning, this attracts the attention of Savathûn. Savathûn basically redirects his ascendant soul to Oryx's old throne room where she is. And so he ends up meeting with Savathûn, and then they form a partnership. Savathûn's like, well, I want a little necromancy too, because I'm basically tied to the darkness, the deep. I'm drawn into the sword logic, and Savathûn's all about trying to release them from that contract, I guess. So she wants to learn necromancy, so she makes a bargain with Nokris. He gives in return, he wants to speak to chat's going to correct me, the dreaming machine, something like that, I think. No one knows what that is yet. It might be Coria. No, it might be Coria, the blade transformed, the Vex Hydra that gives you gives you the truth to power entries. Could be that. And then that's when Savathûn reveals part of Nokris's sort of role is to interrupt transmissions between the pyramid ships and guardians. So he's the one interfering between
between us and the darkness.
The messages that Eris Morn is trying to receive and the pyramid ships. It doesn't really explain like why do that. It sort of says basically if we can cause confusion and trickery amongst guardians, we can continue with our plans without being noticed. So that's one reason. The second reason is I think it's well aware now that Eris is trying to fight with fire. She wants to learn as much as she can about the darkness so we can wield it and then use it against the darkness when the pyramid ships actually arrive. So I guess the second point could be that, hey, maybe Savathûn doesn't want us to get the darkness. That would make sense because then we would be even more powerful. and that. Oh, and then basically the web lore finishes with Savathun grows in power more because of all the trickery she's done. It's revealed that Nokris never actually met her. She made this illusion and was talking through a thrall. And so basically Nokris is like, I don't know if he's literally begged his allegiance to a thrall or if that still passes up to Savathun, but just the fact that she rickrolled him, then
he got debated bad.
He got
debated. That empowers her more, and so she's preparing for some sort of battle, basically. And of course, we know the Witch King, the Witch Queen. Wait, is the Witch Queen?
Yes.
Next year.
Yeah,
next
year. September. Yeah.
Right. So yeah, this is a nice little bit of lore that starts to build the Witch Queen for next year. And it obviously links into the Pyramid Ships, which is they're just trying to be disruptive to what we're doing. And I also think there's an aspect of Savathun trying to free herself from the darkness too. Doesn't want to be involved in this game, wants to do her own thing. So, she's almost a bit like us. We sort of support the light and going to support the darkness. Now she's almost similar.
She's that Jacobite. She wants to get out of the whole system. So I don't know. Yeah. I mean, I thought it was pretty epic. It's an incredible read. It's not short. It's a fair read. So if you want to jump on and have a read through and digest it for yourself.
No, the web lore is always pretty chunky, to be honest. So
yeah, it was good. It was good. Interesting that like that's the way they're taking it, in that like sort of the Hive were always so synonymous with the darkness, right? Especially sort of when we were looking at Oryx and the Taken and all of that sort of stuff. It was kind of like, well, that is the most literal portrayal of the darkness in the game. But then we go, okay, well, now the Hive, for want of a better word, are trying to separate themselves from what we saw as the darkness. So it's a bit of a paradigm shift there. It'll be interesting to see how they do that, and whether or not we ever see anything that's sort of more directly in line with the darkness now. Maybe the Fallen go that way, given that Eramis is kind of starting to lead them.
That could be it. Yeah. Well, I guess the point would be, if we're going to wield the darkness, it makes it really difficult to judge an enemy who also wields the darkness. Yeah. So, there's that nice sort of narrative there that's like, hold on a second, we're doing the same thing. So it's sort of cool to see that maybe they're defined as a different entity and not so closely related. That is quite speculation based. I know there's like a lore hobbit somewhere having an absolute seizure right now. It's Savathun talks about escaping this cosmic war. She doesn't want to be a chess piece anymore, I guess. Right? She wants to be independent, but likely will probably still use those darkness powers. So, yeah.
So, what did you make of the fact that the Drifter has been brought into this by Zavala as kind of like a plot piece based on nothing but recalcitrance and him sort of taking the piss out of it the whole time? He's been brought back into this season by, and he's saying, "Oh, I'm being a good boy for Zavala or whatever." Like, I don't know. I didn't see that coming. I thought he was going to sort of go the other way and be completely separate.
Wait, where did that come from? What happened?
From the Drifter. He says it at basically at the end of the first quest. He's like, well, I'm helping. This is how I'm helping through the bloody giving us the engrams and all this sort of stuff. Zavala asked me to help. I kind of thought that his character, especially after the reveal stream, would be like completely, nah, I'm doing my own thing. Like that kind of the Revengers of Destiny, or whatever you want to call them, the three people arriving on the moon, or not on the moon, on Europa. They're kind of always been the unknowable characters in the game, right? Like the Drifter has been a war unto himself. Eris is, while she reports to Ikora, is
yeah, I hear what you're saying. I think it would have been completely fine if this was a rogue vanguard. Yep. I think they could have done that. They could have like discovered this threat and because Zavala couldn't really agree with embracing the darkness and sort of be a rogue event, and they all went to Europa and they all started to play with the darkness.
Oh yeah, it would be. So
maybe that's what happens.
That's right? That's a rogue event. I reckon my thoughts on the matter is that the Drifter is okay with doing it because for once his whatever we call objectives line up with what Zavala wants. So he's kind of happy doing with what Zavala's asking because he wants the same thing. And hey, if he has the backing of the Vanguard to get a little bit more grunt work out of it and use the Guardians as like a tool for a means to an end, then he's okay with it. And then as soon as it stops fucking benefiting him, he'll just go on and with Eris and shit to Europa and have a good old time sniffing that space water or whatever the fuck it was we talked about, Matt.
Oh yeah. What was
space water? What?
Yeah, Europa.
No, licking Europa. I don't know. We were look. It was 2 a.m. in the morning, wherever it fucking was, and we were looking at when Europa was announced. We ended up somehow on some NASA website looking at like real shit about Europa, and then somehow it came up that you could taste Europa, and then everyone started spamming licking. lick Europa, hashtag lick Europa or something like that. I can't remember the context, but anyway, people were licking planets.
Yeah, that's basically the pin-up example of what this week has been to all of us. Really, it's been wild. It's been wild. All right, well, what we might do, we might open up the chat. So if there's anything that you want to discuss about this season, speculate about seasons going forward, anything at all, absolutely go for it. Jump in and have your say about what you want us to talk about. But Belle Delphine presents Europa Water. Oh my god. I'd probably buy it. I look, we've said this privately, like just having a chat and having a laugh, but kind of the way Destiny has been over the last sort of 6 months, it's been in a rough spot. And to be honest, for Mars, I think it's just super fucking positive to see so much good news going on and so much positivity going around instead of sort of a lot of the screeching that's sort of taken its place over recent months. So to be able to look out over Destiny and see like literal 3 years of content laid out there and the commitment to the game from Bungie is pretty insane. So, yeah.
Do you know what I hope? I hope Bungie saw the success of a season without any marketing. I really do hope that, like, we didn't really have any lead up, and then they had a big announcement. I don't know what you're going to do when you don't have big stuff to announce. Like, I think Bungie does fine. You know, that little live event piece that they recorded. Perfect. Half an hour in and out. Like,
yeah, I mean, there was a lot in that. There was a lot in that, but I even think they could forgo like the week before marketing of things, of the like, you know, like I love the Bungie stuff where everyone sits on the couch and talks about the game mechanics and, you know, what activities we're going to be doing in the upcoming season. But I honestly reckon if you just move that back a week and have it a week into the season, where, you know, if people haven't picked up the season, then there's a reveal stream that talks about everything that's going on in the season. But if you are playing it, then, you know, they can dive into things in more detail and you probably get more out of it if people are like, well, okay, you've gone and you've experienced this. Well, you know, did you notice that this is the way this works? Or this is sort of the lore direction we're telegraphing with this. This is the story point we're trying to convey. And they can speak more openly to things that are in the game currently rather than sort of trying to telegraph them as they come up. I think there is a big learning in that for Bungie to sort of be able to go, okay, well, we don't need to be like, the hype train doesn't need to be fucking all gears firing for us to have a successful season. I mean, this was going to be successful anyway with the shit that they've announced. So that and the quality of it. So it's, man, I think there's a lot of positives going forward. I think they can absolutely knuckle down on a few different little things and have seasons launch. It'll be interesting to see. We didn't really get any information on the structure of seasons going forward, did we? Sort of like the one thing that
not really
that was left off the.
We don't even have a roadmap for this season, do we? Like,
nope.
Exotic mission or new.
I don't care about a roadmap. Yeah, the roadmap just sets yourself up for disappointment when you're like, oh, yeah, now we know exactly what's going to happen. You're like, I like it. I like not knowing.
Yeah.
All right. Good. Here's one from Sticky Frano. Do you think Uldren will finally turn up and become the Hunter Vanguard?
No. Next question.
No.
Got that one a few times this week, Matty.
No, look, I honestly think out of all the storylines, I think Aldrin is fine to be left alone.
Yeah,
I
given
think
this
maybe
is-
he could make a sneaky cutscene Easter egg appearance. I think that would be fine. You know, put a sea container in a frozen area and put a crow sitting on top of it and say that's Aldrin in there having a cry about why everyone hates him. But I think I feel like it got wrapped up with that one little lore tab saying everyone hates me, and I'll just sit in my little sea container sobbing about it.
as you can tell, there's a lot of sympathy for Aldrin from Matt.
Oh.
He just wants him to just be a happy bloke. All right. What are our thoughts on stasis, and how is the Traveler going to be when we start using dark powers? Do you think he's going to
Ooh.
be like a
That's
butthurt
a good question.
ex-girlfriend? Where did you
Traveler
get these
won't be
powers?
happy.
What?
Who have you been with? What?
Where have you been? Sorry. Just telegraphing my own past.
You've been playing with that drifter again, haven't you?
That Eris Morn.
I told you she was a bad influence. You didn't
Okay, well,
listen.
look, let me add to that.
Yes.
Do you think we get a social space that has a pyramid ship rather than a traveler?
Boy.
Ooh, didn't think
Tell
about
you
that.
what, is there gonna be a darkness version of Rahul?
No,
Well,
he's
we got
already
that
the
Drifter.
darkness version.
He's the darkness
He's
version.
already an evil piece of shit with his shit fucking drop chances. He's been harvesting fucking darkness for as long as we can remember. Darkness in the form of disappointment.
Disappointed Guardians.
All right. Plasma mortality. Who do you think will be fighting in the Deep Stone Crypt, and how might it tie to the overall expansion narrative?
Oh, easy peasy.
Easy peasy.
Look, Rasputin's been dumped, right? Been
Benched.
shut down for the moment.
Shut down by a Windows 10 update.
I reckon
They're fucking
it,
brutal, aren't they?
Rasputin, Clover Spray, original creator of the Exos, Exo Stranger. It's hard to define what that enemy would be because they're all humans. Like, if you think about Deep Stone Crypt, like, are we going to see Exo armies? Are we going to see Exo frames? Are we going to see Clover Spray tech? Is it going to... They're going to have to introduce, like, what they probably normally do is the Fallen have dug in. The Fallen have tried to
it becomes
get the technology.
The replication
Yeah.
complex or whatever. The Siva. They've taken over them. Go
See-
kill them. Fuck.
I want to
mean,
find the frames. The frames they give it, like the exo frames and stuff that have it as security.
Well, I
I
mean,
wanna
true.
find
That,
that.
like they are in the game already. They're just on our side in the opening missions of
Yeah.
Shadowkeep. Like if you go in and jump into that, I played through. I think it's the weekly, daily story mission thing or whatever it is. I did that. I forgot how cool that mission was. Man, like the big open
Hey, what
battle at the start.
if Rassi turns against us now? What if the darkness changes it somehow? Rasputin
boy.
becomes an enemy.
Oh boy, that's
Oh boy, that's a lot of reprogramming.
yeah, it's a lot of retconning.
Just the darkness is actually just a hacker.
What if Rasputin's like, okay, Guardians are working the darkness now. I don't think this is the best thing for humanity. I'm going to take out Dark Guardians, and that's the raid.
Oh yeah,
Maybe, or maybe it's to free Rasputin from the hold of it, something like that.
Yeah. Or free Rasputin. Yeah, that'd work. Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't get the impression from the darkness turning up whenever you hear that like silky fucking voice talk to you, which is your own voice, that like you won't need these weapons here and all that sort of stuff.
We
I
are
don't,
your salvation.
yeah, I
Yeah.
don't get the impression that the darkness, while it's super easy to go, it's evil. I think that like the whole story arc of Destiny is going to ultimately be about balance, right? The darkness and the light
wants-
together, they just want to like equal each other out. It's like an equilibrium thing. So do I think that the darkness is going to control or kill Rasputin to the point where we need to like reactivate him or defeat
Yeah,
the
true.
darkness to get control of him back. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's the way it's going. But I mean, I'm not sure. Maybe it's
well, just
so,
right
like
now.
I think it's far more likely that we'd see the Fallen or the Hive take over that complex as something for strategic advantage that they can then use to maybe they start. I think it's going to be more like along those lines.
It's got a link to Aramis, right? Surely.
Well, maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe we've seen raids in the past that like springboard from the story content of a DLC and aren't sort of explicitly related. I mean, Gardens like that, Leviathans like that. So I don't know. I think
where will we see Callus? Will Callus do anything?
I think Callus he's just chilling. He's just like, oh, well, the darkness didn't come. I'm just going to sit here and drink my wine and grow fat with strength.
Oh, shit, I've only grown alcoholic. This is not work out.
I haven't grown fat with strength at all. I've just grown fat.
Talk about being alcoholic with a god complex.
Will Rasputin be put into an exo frame and he could be the new Hunter Vanguard?
No,
I think it's a stretch, but I don't think it's impossible. It fell into.
Can you imagine Rasputin just talking to you in Russian every time you fucking went to him, and everyone's going, "What?
What did he say?
What did he say? Go do some bounties, you dickhead."
And you're like, I think he means me to kill things. I'm just gonna go kill things.
I'm just gonna kill the thing. What if you got bounties off Rasputin and they were all in another language? Just go and figure it out for yourself.
Figure it out.
All right, Senji just wrote 2 words: Zivu Arath ?
I know I saw his message now. He's been like, what about Zifu? What about Zifu? That's the other sister of Oryx. Yeah. Did I read anything about? I think I read something, but I can't remember. what happened. She should still be around, but not
chilling like a villain.
What was her thing? Because
war.
Oh right. There's plenty of that.
What's the name was? Yeah. Oryx was a navigator. Savathun was trickery and cunning, and Xifu was just batshit war, pure war.
Well, there you go.
Don't know.
I don't know.
Lore master, by the way. Shut up, lore hobbits.
What do you think is the thing that gives Eramis the stasis power? Do we think we're going to pick up a thing? Do we think the darkness goes, get
mate, we've seen it though.
Have some stasis in your life.
It's the shard.
Yeah.
The darkness shard. Have you seen that?
Oh, okay. No, I haven't. Was that in the trailer?
It's in the cover art for Beyond Light. It looks like a mini pyramid, and she's sort of got it clasped like that. So it's like I don't know. It's a ghost version of it. I'm not too sure. It's a floating triangle, and that looks like a shard of darkness or whatever.
You reckon we're gonna get dark ghosts?
Yep. Well,
they both follow you around, so you've got 2, and they argue.
Well, you get either or. So you got a light ghost that channels light, and then you'll have to have an equivalent of a dark ghost to channel the dark.
You reckon?
What if they went? What if they went? You had 2 ghosts, and then there was the good conscience and the bad conscience all the time, and they brought back. They brought back Dinklebot,
like fail safe.
They brought back Dinklebot to be the voice of the Dark Guardian. That's just apathetic and fucking hates everything.
What if it's sort of like an initiation mobster thing, and if you want to choose the dark subclass, it takes you to the Cosmodrome where it all started, and you pull your ghost down, you look away.
Boom.
you have to kill your best friend to get the darkness, and the darkness is like, welcome.
It'll either be that or our ghost gets infused with dark, and that's how it's channeled. Like the Drifter did it with his.
I think yeah, I mean the Drifter's a different kettle of fish again. He's pulling them apart and all sorts of shit, right? All right, we're just going to shout out. We're going to do a quick couple of things, and then we're going to wrap up. This has been A pretty exciting episode, but I think we've talked our course, given that this is literally the second episode in 4 days that we've recorded. So we might wrap this up a little bit soon. Trixar, thank you very much for gifted subs, dude. You need to calm down. Holy shit.
It's 20 total. Trixar, calm down, my friend. Thank you, mate.
Calm down.
You
We're
legend.
calling the cops.
You leg end.
No, actually we're not. That's probably a bit too typical.
By the way, straight to the beer fund. Now we've got more beer fund for
Yep.
next packs whenever we
There we
meet up
go.
again.
We're building
more beer
it up,
funds, thank
building
you.
up a beer
The
chest.
war chest. The
All
war
right.
chest.
Well, what do you guys got planned for this week? What's the plan for you guys? What's going on?
I have the Knockers video coming out on Sunday night. Tomorrow I will have a stream with Danny playing that stupid service delivery game, which has been absolutely hilarious. And then I might play Destiny at some point. That would be fucking fantastic. Yeah, if I get a bit of a grind in, and I would like to do the dungeon. So that's probably my list for sure.
Sassy,
Yeah.
what are you up to through the week, mate?
Oh, getting outside whenever I can, and yeah, taking you guys through the dungeon whenever you guys are ready. Pretty much
Well,
it.
look,
help,
I appreciate the offer for tonight, but we've got fucking Nick Mick, Etsy, Keggy, and
Oh,
Senchi
yeah,
coming
the-
over for beers for the first
Oh
time
my
in forever
goodness.
because we can do that. We'll be social
Oh.
distancing. So
Yeah, I'd
sadly,
totally
I'm gonna
forgotten
miss
this was
I'm gonna
coming.
miss my Saturday night stream to get the fire team together at IRL
I'll-
and rock on. So
I'll do it for you then, bro. I'll pretend to be you.
yeah, just get drunk and be obnoxious, and no one will even notice that I'm missing. But next
put a
week,
flag-
I'm gonna try and stream through the days again. I had a bit of fun doing that this week, sort of after the release dropped and everything, and getting to catch up with people that I normally wouldn't. So I'll look forward to doing that. Fucking oath.
Hey,
But-
streams, mate. Get on board, mate, during the day.
Get
High
on it.
energy.
Get on it. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's weird for me because obviously, like, I do the guitar thing, and Sunlight isn't very rock and roll. We can be honest with, but it's been fun all the same. So rock and roll. All right, awesome. Well, we might wrap up there. We'll find someone to raid into quickly, but what we really need to know from none other than Mylan Games himself is,
Oh, fuck.
where will the law find you this week?
The law. Oh no, I'm panicking. The law will find you in a second tower with the pyramid ship as our new god.
All hail
On the back of a majestic air flap.
All hail the darkness.
All hail the flappy fish ghosts. All right, rock and roll. Have a good week.
Oh,
We'll
that's
see you
better.
soon. Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.